Good morning. Please remain standing. My name is Santa Ono, and I am the President and Vice-Chancellor of the University of British Columbia. Please join us in singing O Canada, led by our University Marshal, Nancy Hermiston, Director of the Opera and Voice Program at the UBC School of Music. Please stand and remove your hats, graduates. Thank you, Professor Hermiston. We respectfully acknowledge the Syilx Okanagan Nation and their peoples, in whose territory we stand and are gathered today. At this time, I would like to invite Amber Cardenas, member of the Okanagan Nation, to sing the Okanagan song.
Wai Haskell Halt, Lilam Diayat. Thank you for standing up again. I squeezed Amber Cardenas Cantil Sin Pinkton. Hello, good day to you. I'm Amber Cardenas, and I come from Sin Pinkton, which is the place to live forever in my language. But today it's known as Penticton. I think they were a little lazy to say Sin Pinkton, so they said Penticton. So it's Penticton now. And Kelowna is actually also derived from my language. In my language, it's Kilauna, and it means grizzly bear. And that's where the name of this beautiful city comes from. It's from my language. And so I'm going to sing our nation song, and I just want to say thank you and congratulations to all the graduates. Lim Limt.
Oh
Thank you, Amber. Please remain standing for just one moment. We pause for a moment to give thanks, spiritual and temporal thanks, for the manifold blessings that we share in this wonderful world, this great nation, this beautiful and blessed province, this magnificent university, these proud students, their even prouder friends and family. We give thanks, especially for this most joyous occasion. Please be seated. Distinguished platform guests, members of the Okanagan Senate, members of our distinguished faculty, staff, alumni, and most especially graduates, family and friends, welcome to the 2017 graduation exercises. What an honor it is for me to be with you today to celebrate UBC's graduating class of 2017. Let's hear it for them. I can tell you this is one of my favorite parts of my job, to participate in this joyous, momentous occasion, a milestone in your lives. This day is all about you and what you've achieved through your hard work, determination, and moments of creative inspiration. Graduation is a time also to imagine your future and the world to come. When you think of the road ahead, you may gain perspective by looking back to your experience here at UBCO. And I hope that when you do look back on your time at UBC, that you will do so with fondness, and that when you look ahead, you will see UBC very much as part of your future. You will always be welcome here, and we look forward to hearing about you and your achievements, both personal and professional, as you build on the foundation of your education here at UBC. And we also hope to continue to engage with you as alumni as you travel to the distant corners of the globe on different adventures. I can tell you that one of the great opportunities and privileges as president and vice-chancellor of UBC is for me to meet with alumni all around the world. I go to places like London, Sydney, Hong Kong, Toronto, Kingston, Montreal, all sorts of places, and there are amazing graduates of UBC in each of these cities engaged in almost every aspect of human endeavor, and they are doing us proud, and you will do exactly the same thing. As you begin your new stage in your life and your experience, you can be confident of one thing, that everybody on this stage, every member of this institution, has absolute confidence that each and every one of you will, that you can and that you will, do your part in making a difference in the world. Because like UBC graduates that have preceded you, you have demonstrated in obtaining your degree that you have the knowledge, the skill, and the passion to build upon that excellent education and to persist and to make something of yourself as you have transformed yourselves during your time here. In his address to UBC's initial graduating class in 1916, UBC's very first president, Frank Westbrook, encouraged students to make the world a better place in which to live. And he wasn't just talking about for yourselves or for your families or for your loved ones. He was asking those graduates to commit from that day forward to using their gifts to make the world a better place to live for everyone. And it was not only for the residents of British Columbia or even for Canada as a nation. What he had in mind 101 years ago was that the graduates of UBC would use their gifts to make the entire world a better place. And you have that capacity. You really do. If you look around at your faculty, if you look around at graduates, they are making a difference in science and medicine, in government, in politics. And their actions are touching people literally millions of people around the globe, people that they may never see or they may never meet. That is the power of education, and you have that within your grasp. Today, 101 years later, we echo those remarks. We echo that request of you. You know, if you look around the world, there are so many people that are less privileged than we are. Sometimes it's hard to appreciate because you're surrounded by other graduates and by loving friends and family. If you turn on the news and you look around at individuals where there isn't democracy, where there isn't justice for all, then it really behooves us, each and every one of us, to appreciate the privileges that we have and the responsibility that comes with that, to use that privilege, that knowledge, position that will accompany that degree and that stature to work to help those that are less privileged. There's one other thing that we want to say to you here at graduation, not just to encourage you to live a meaningful life, to impact the lives of others. The other thing we want to say to you is graduation isn't about saying goodbye. It's about au revoir, which means until we meet again. And one of the amazing things, even though this is a large institution, is that as I travel around the globe, as I said, I have the opportunity to meet graduates from 1 year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 40 years ago, 60 years ago. It's really remarkable. And so we're very serious. It's not about goodbye. It's about until we meet again. And that we want to maintain that relationship. You know, as Professor Westbrook said back in 1916, never forget those words, tuum est. You know, it's sort of like being in a club. Very few people will understand what tuum est means unless you went to UBC. But it's actually, I think, incredibly profound. And it has two different definitions. Don't forget those two definitions. One is, it's yours. UBC is yours. And we want you to embrace it and be part of it for the rest of your lives. So that's one meaning of tuum est. The other is that it's up to you. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that later on in this ceremony. But just so you understand, it's up to you means it's up to you that what you do with your life. And we hope that you will dedicate your lives from this day forward, not only for your own well-being, but for the well-being of those who are less fortunate. Congratulations, class of 2017, and our very best wishes to you all.
Thank you, Mr. Vice-Chancellor. I'm Deborah Buzzard, and I have the pleasure and privilege of serving as the Deputy Vice-Chancellor and Principal of this Okanagan campus. And before I begin my remarks, I'd like to recognize Councillor Dunn, who's joined us representing the City of Kelowna this morning. Thank you for being here. To the graduating class of 2017, congratulations. Today represents a tremendous achievement, representing the years of hard work, your persistence, your ability to take in new ideas, to embrace new information, and those are the aptitudes that you will take with you, whatever your disciplinary degree, as you cross the stage today. But a UBC degree doesn't just recognize your tenacity or qualify you for a job. Much more importantly, it qualifies you to live a thoughtful life, one of perception, insight, rationality, the ability to distinguish between news and fake news. It provides you the intellectual tools to flourish wherever you may go from here. As I look out at this year's graduating class, I am struck by your collective capacity to be change agents. Over your relatively short time here, you've proven yourselves both on campus and in the wider community. Let me give you just a few examples. Our UBCO Muslim Students Association spent time filling sandbags to help protect the Kelowna community from the rising floodwaters recently. Students leaving residence teamed up with the Salvation Army and collected 5,000 pounds of donatable goods and equipment on move-out day. There are countless examples of your class stepping up to make a difference, large or small, on and off campus. But there are two things which really, I think, show what you're made of, where you came together for the greater good. The first is your support for refugees. Last year, the students here voted overwhelmingly in favor of taxing themselves to extend financial support for refugees to come and study here at UBC Okanagan. Seeing the crises in places like Syria, Sudan, and Nigeria, and the incredible opportunity that UBC Okanagan can offer, you can imagine the impact that your generosity will have, enabling young people not that different from you, but growing up in refugee camps, to come to this place and to continue their education here. I had the opportunity to read the applications that we received for the students who will come here. Extraordinary stories of human resilience. And I really look forward to welcoming the first student here next year. And that's thanks to you. You made that possible. And that's going to change our campus. And the life not only of that individual, but of future generations of that individual's family. Think what you have done. The second thing that you have done is that you have played a very important role in defining what this campus will look like in the future. You recognized, and I'm sure none of you would recognize that this is not true, that there's never enough quiet study space on this campus. 3 years ago, you voted overwhelmingly in support, again, of raising funds towards a much-needed expansion of the library. You committed $10 million. You've probably noticed a small amount added to your fees. You knew that you would never have an opportunity to study in that space. You knew that you would not benefit from that contribution. You're truly paying it forward. For future students who will come here and be able to study in the beautiful new building that you now see in construction as you leave today. It was a remarkably generous, forward-thinking act. So you truly have already been forces for change, and you will leave a very special legacy on this campus. And I want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart for the generosity of those gifts. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. It really is you who are making that difference. Echoing the words of our president, graduation doesn't mean goodbye. We hope that you will continue to be involved in the life of the campus. Next year, we will host our first ever homecoming. That's another big first for UBC, and I hope that you'll all want to come back and be part of that here, at which you will be able to visit that new library. So I hope you'll find time to come back in the fall. It's another chance to be that first generation of UBC students and alumni here in the Okanagan. As you leave here, your life will change. By plan, by surprise, sometimes by accident, but be confident that you have the capacity not only to cope with that change, but to be a force for positive change wherever you go. Coping, indeed thriving, in a world that's ever-changing is precisely what your time here at UBC has prepared you for. And I have every confidence your education and experiences here have positioned you for the brightest futures. Truly great universities are defined by the work and the impact of their graduates. And as a young campus, we're looking forward very much to see what great impacts you will have on the future of the world. As I look out at our newest UBC Okanagan alumni, I know that we will have much to be proud of as you make your way. Indeed, we already are very, very proud of what you've accomplished here. So on behalf of the university and the entire Okanagan campus, congratulations. I wish you every success. Well done, class of 2017. I'm pleased at this time to call upon Jeffrey Krupa, a member of the graduating class, to make remarks. Jeffrey.
Thank you, Professor Buzzard. President Ono, honored guests, and fellow graduates. Today we join a community of 325,000 UBC graduates and changemakers connected to us by Alumni UBC. We are here to celebrate our achievement and to acknowledge the contributions of the many others who supported us along the way. So first, please, a round of applause for our family, friends, and everyone who has helped us get here. As a student of physics, I'm moved by the night sky. When I look up, the stars consume me. And I think what amazes me is our position among these stars. The fact that we are on a rock orbiting an average star in an unimaginably vast expanse of dust, emptiness, and time. When the Voyager 1 spacecraft was launched in 1977, its purpose was to study space beyond our solar system. But astronomer Carl Sagan also wanted to know our place. He asked that the spacecraft turn its camera around and take a picture of the Earth, a photograph now known as the pale blue dot. From 6 billion kilometers away, the Earth is smaller than a pixel, suspended in dust and light. Today, I want to ask, what is our response to this picture? Perhaps it is isolation in the face of our aloneness, or fear of insignificance. But I think this picture should fill us with awe and drive us to protect our pale blue dot. While global quality of life is higher now than ever before, we must acknowledge the tremendous challenges that we face. Artificial intelligence will cause changes that we do not fully understand. Automation may lead to unemployment and increased income inequality. Climate change has caused natural disasters in the face of ineffective political systems. And democracies are in danger because of cynicism that questions freedom and tolerance. These problems sometimes seem insurmountable. But our pale blue dot is the only livable human home that we have ever found, and it's something worth fighting for. I believe that we science graduates have a special part to play in tackling these challenges. We are skilled and adaptable. We are capable and critical thinkers. We have unprecedented access to information, technologies, and ideas. And we are fluent in the scientific method, humanity's most powerful tool in understanding the natural world. Yes, the abilities and resources that we have gained at UBC are a huge privilege. But now, to save our pale blue dot, we must use our scientific skills in all parts of our lives. We must become active and engaged citizens who move society forward. For example, graduating earth scientists who understand the effects of melting ice sheets on rising sea levels should also engage with our political systems to limit greenhouse gas emissions. We need to make science accessible and relevant, and we need to bring science to everyone. But we also must appreciate our diversities because we cannot protect our pale blue dot if we are in conflict. We are not adversaries. Neither are we competitors for fame or titles. We are colleagues. We are allies. We are fellow space adventurers traveling on a tiny dot. The truth is that this degree by itself is only a start. What is important is what we do with it and how we work to preserve our pale blue dot. What matters is living a life of curiosity, diligence, and wonder. Our actions will make all the difference. Thank you, and congratulations. Thanks.
Thank you, Jeff. It always makes me a little bit afraid to think of the scale of the universe. Will the candidates for degrees please rise? That's you. You don't want to miss this chance, right? Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the pleasure of presenting the candidates for degrees who have successfully completed their studies and fulfilled the conditions that the university has set for them. The Okanagan Senate of this university recommends them to you for the degrees that will be announced by the representatives of the faculties. As each degree is officially conferred, the Dean of the faculty, and in the case of graduate students, the Dean of the College of Graduate Studies, will congratulate the student. Tim Krupa and Cody McKay, members of the alumni community, will welcome each student to the Alumni Association and present them with a handbook. The candidates will please be seated.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for the degree Doctor of Philosophy. Lindsay Joy Spielman. Dr. Spielman investigated the link between type 2 diabetes and the risk of developing Alzheimer's disease. Dr. Spielman discovered that the hormone dysregulation and physical activity associated with type 2 diabetes affect the immune system of the brain, and as a result may contribute to the development of Alzheimer's disease. Dr. Spielman. Scott Ronald Fizachary. Dr. Fizachary developed data storage algorithms for flash memory that increase the lifespan and lower energy utilization for embedded computing devices, commonly found in environmental sensors and the Internet of Things applications. The algorithms allow for longer periods of deployment and increased data robustness with applications to precision agriculture, environmental, and industrial monitoring. Dr. Fizachary. May Ann Mata. Dr. Mata examined the impacts of disease transmission in the recurrent avian flu epidemics. Using stochastic analysis, she derived the form of fluctuations in epidemics resulting from stochastic dynamics and periodic forcing. Her general mathematical results have wide applicability to the study of recurrent diseases and periodically forced phenomena. Dr. Mata. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for the degree of Master of Science. Nijat Abliz. Nizrat Jahan Urmi. Naomi Hashimoto. Negan Kazimian. Caitlin Pointer. Nunzak Tunti Kajan Kiat. Erica Massey. Giles Andrew Shearing. Morgan Rosen Mullen. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science. Arlene Ames. Sharon Boparai. Shiraz Brar. Angeline Fleming. Madeline Laslett. Rachel Pduck. Dylan Shahan. Carly Uren. Amber Victoria Peters. Robert Sandy. Brianna Clark. Brody Gehagen. Melissa Hinderly. Megan Jeffries. Justin King. Justine Kinnert. Jordan McKenzie. Andrew Beebe. Maximilian Red Bigwood. Christiana David. Katrina Fries. Ashley Furman. Robert Germick. Dewey Gu. Reinhard Henstock. Rogine Kazimian. Mina Kiani. Yoon Jean Kim. Sharon Kipfer. Vivian Yik Tung Lam. Ryan McLeod. Anina Morris. Patrick Newsom. David Peterson. Thomas Poole. Dikshitha Ranatunga. Megan Ross. Silky Schuster. Devin Seal. Travis Spicker. Todd Spreezel. Kelly Warwick. Sophia Kim Singh. Sahaj Thind. Courtney Chung. Kristen Reger. Quinn Wright. Hermione Sharman. Nadia Matanag. Faye Manning. Alexander Moynihan. Rebecca Wells. Anna Marie Noel. Kaishi Ilion. Sidra Beg. Marissa Rochelle Berg. Sukhvir Batar. Alexander Caldwell. Carrie Lynn Caron. Olivia Carter. Julian Ernest Chin. Danya Cook. Sean Donovan. Dustin Erickson. Brianne Lael Francisco. Jordan Glass. Eknor Guman. Benjamin Grant. Loren Jacqueline. Humit Johal. Sarah Kopp. Lisa Leonore Lai. Brett Lappin. Dion Lee. Alexandra Myshik Davis. Barvita Nakun. Gregory Nixon. Kristen Knoppers. Megan Taylor Parmar. Prim Angela Patanaporn. Harman Rai. Ulia Rodominski. Caitlin Rolke. Desmond Saylor. Kuria Skinner. Jordana Spiker. Jessica Judith Schulz. Brian Tanner. Dalen Talitsky. Alyssa Wells. Kenya Jade Wolf. Amanda Abrams. Amanda Bennett. Courtney Habina. Hillary Howard. Rumandeep Kular. Nelly Muja. Shanur Sandhu. Manpreet Purwal.
Reed Merrill. Alexander MacDuff. Fida Almedrin. Jordan Job Babcock. Benjamin J. Bouchard. Samantha Davis. Joel Alexander Augustus Jameson. Emily Elizabeth Canister. Michael Kirkovius. Maxime Laroche Parfit. Yang Liu. Riley McLennan. Alexandra Marcus. Paula Kathleen Meehan. Cole Noyes. Thomas Edward Rutkowski. Bhavdeep Sahota. Daniel Tamas. Charlene Campbell. Rosemary Forgay. Michelle Kayleen Kelsey Greenwood. Shane Peterson. James Douglas Riley. Wiley James Stanton. Petra Stasny. Emma Goodrow. Victoria Grace Bayliss. Ashley Marie Bockstein. Stephanie Giacomelli. Mitch Lorne Olson. Lakeisha Smith. Mary Kate Botkin. Mackenzie Newchas. Raphael Novak. Kimberly Michelle Walker. Connor Berry. Shelby Baumgartner. Eric Robert Evanoff. Michelle Janet Ann Hawkins. Amanda Sambrielas. Emily Tremblay. Catherine Alexander. Jacqueline Alexandra Barnett. Bradley Douglas Adams. Munit Bonawal. Elaine Bamfo. Sydney Nicole Chesham. Jordan Colby. Adam Doby. Shayna Bryn Dahl. Sarah Emmons. Anisha Karen. Joshua Bradley Klassen. Alyssa Ann Cornelson. Jiwan Perlsimmon Lee. Annika Manders. Kazutaka Naitu. Liam Nolan. Tori Romanchuk. Reena Sharma. Gina Shoponko. Navyot Takar. Hossein Tavakoli. Scott Ryan Terhune. Xu Huan Yang. Kristen O'Brien. Hafsa Arif. Hanuja Ganesh. Alisa Himstra. Aliyah Stockton. Myla Halverson. Louise Arujo. Giuseppe Crescenzo. Andrew Douglas Kennedy. Jordan O'Grady. Benjamin Olafson. Christopher Patterson. Jonathan Carl Sader. Caitlin Nicole Thiessen. Tia Lee. Kondwane Asefa. Shirley Shu Ting Chen. Dale Flowers Johnson. Christine Furrer. Jake Robert Halsall. Kayla Harahuk. Jake Dale Holmes. Abby Lynn Luoma. Holly Margaret Schmidtke. Chad Michael Vervold. Harley McIntyre. Zarka Ahmad. Millicent Rose Hardwood. Dorian Kolanchik.
For those graduates who have just crossed the stage today, and for all of those unable to attend today's ceremony with respect to the programs, degrees shown in the program, it is my privilege to admit you to the Convocation of UBC. Congratulations. Well, it's a great group of people that are here today. I can see that amongst you are graduates with degrees from biochemistry and molecular biology, biology, chemistry, earth and environmental sciences, ecology and evolutionary biology, protecting that pale blue dot, environmental chemistry, environmental sciences, freshwater sciences, general studies, interdisciplinary studies, microbiology, and zoology. Let's hear it for all of those graduates. Well, it has been my great pleasure to meet and congratulate each and every member of today's graduating class. Each of you have invested a great deal of determination, focus, and hard work to obtain your degree. And now, just as you graduate, this is the moment. You know where your parents, your grandparents, your siblings are. Why don't you turn to them and give them a round of applause for being with you every step of the way? And let's not forget the most important people who have been with you from day one, who have been there with you for office hours, in lecture halls and laboratories, who've been there writing you letters of recommendation for graduate school or for your job. They are the one and only, the outstanding faculty of the University of British Columbia behind me. Let's hear it for them. You know, it's not said enough that the real heart of the university are the faculty. The faculty create new knowledge. The faculty inspire you as students. And they are the reason why we have the best students in Canada. The best faculty attract the best students. So let's hear it for them one more time. Now, I wanted to follow up with just a few remarks. This is my last opportunity to address you. It's been an amazing first year for me as president and vice-chancellor of this great university. And I am, however, first and foremost, a faculty member. And one of these days, I'm going to return to being a faculty member. So if you'll bear with me, I just wanted to impart just a few tidbits of hopefully useful advice or encouragement to you as you leave this institution. As a scientist, and we have quite a few different kinds of scientists here, you have the tools and capability to make the world a better place. We spoke about that at the very beginning as the charge from President Westbrook to the very initial graduating class. That progress and that technology and innovation, what's been achieved by humankind over this past century has been truly remarkable. Some of the grandparents and parents, and I'm your parents' age, I have daughters about your age, remember how much has changed over the past 20, 30, 50 years or more. Maybe some of the grandparents and older parents will remember this comic strip called Dick Tracy. Remember that? And maybe all of you will remember, although these are reruns for the graduates, Marty McFly, Back to the Future. Pretty good movie, right? Well, the once space-age dreams of a smartphone or a smartwatch or a self-propelled skateboard, I think I saw one the other time I was here, once viewed as total fantasy, is now reality for millions of people. Not to mention Wi-Fi enabled video games. This is bad, my voice is, I have to do 6 of these here. 3D movies, handheld tablet computers, flat screen TVs, and video conferencing from your phone via Skype. Even my 12-year-old daughter, Sarah, can now essentially be like Dick Tracy or Marty McFly. Who knows, with the advent of machine learning or artificial intelligence, and visionaries like your own faculty, the graduate students that just received their doctorates today, Elon Musk, and you, we predict that in a not too distant future, there'll be flying cars. In fact, they're trying to make them for the next Olympics, hoverboards like Marty McFly was on, hyperloops that students around the world are working on to make travel more efficient and sustainable, and trips to outer space for the general public are all in our future. And I can tell you that one of our own vice presidents of research remarked to me that they're a little worried about flying cars. Can you imagine that? It's difficult enough to control traffic on 2 dimensions, but 3-dimensional travel, flying cars, that's something to worry about. I, for one, will be first in line, however, to fly that flying car and to hoverboard along the UBCO campus. I'm looking forward to that, and I'm sure some of you would join me. Beyond this, it's indisputable that millions and soon to be billions of lives will be saved by the work that you do, by the advances in technology. Our buildings and bridges will be safer. Some of you, biomedical scientists, will develop devices and prosthetics that will prolong and enhance the quality of life. We've seen it in our own lives, and some of it has been pioneered here at UBC. Millions of lives exist today because of advances by our faculty. And I can't wait to see the innovations that you bring into the world. All of this, I think, will happen. But as enablers of the world of the future, be mindful of the world that you create beyond this pale blue dot. Be mindful of the lens through which the next generation, those that come after you, view the world. Life and civilization are not a video game, even though sometimes it would be fun to consider it as a video game. We should never cheapen or minimize human creativity as a casualty of machine learning or robotics, because it is incredibly special. And we should be mindful of the tendency toward isolation and being all consumed by our ability to escape into a world of virtual reality. As a group, make sure that we don't become victims of the technology that we create. Who here has not been dismayed to be at a family reunion where great-grandparents, grandparents, and their grandkids sit next to each other on the picnic table without uttering a word because they're gazing at their smartphone? Or at a gathering of teens where they're completely engrossed in Minecraft or Snapchat and forgetting about each other, just taking pictures of each other and Snapchatting to each other, even though they're right next to each other. I won't name which daughter of mine does that. And let's avoid a future where the most rewarding opportunity in life, interpersonal relationships, and love have diminished to just afterthoughts. Because let's face it, that's what really matters in life. Interpersonal relationships. Those precious moments that kids and grandkids have with their parents and their grandparents and their great-grandparents. Those are the most valuable moments. And as you create the future, don't forget the fundamental values that you've been taught here at UBC. Don't forget to embrace diversity in every sense of the word. You see, the diversity of this nation, of this province, of this city, makes for better teams. Whatever team you might join, whether it's government, and boy, are we proud of this government and the diversity that they have embraced. For better decisions in whatever organization that you will ultimately lead. You'll be a better leader if you embrace diversity of all senses, diversity of thought, as you think about the decisions that you're going to make. And embracing diversity will make for a better world. That challenge that we put before you. And as you ponder what you will do in making those small and large decisions, moving into the future, and believe me, you will be faced with decisions that will be very hard. Decisions that will test your mettle as a human being and citizen. Your ultimate responsibility. I ask you to do one thing. sort of sobering at this momentous occasion, but what are these occasions meant to be if not moments of reflection or imagination? So I ask you all to fast forward to the end of your life for just a moment, long, long away, maybe 100 years away, who knows? But fast forward to the end of your life and ask yourself a very simple question. And this is someone that my classmate at the University of Chicago asked, David Brooks, the renowned columnist of the New York Times. He asked in a book, what will people say in your eulogy? You see, at that point, it's not about how high your GPA was at UBCO. Nobody will care. Nobody will remember. It's not how impressive your LinkedIn profile might be. Doesn't really matter at that stage. Eulogies are really profound. I, for one, actually like to read them because they inspire me, because they reflect the multiplicity of different ways that individuals have transformed the world. But eulogies are very honest. They often assess the impact that life has had on society and the lives of others, whether it's locally, regionally, or globally. It's an assessment of how you have transformed the world. You see, eulogies are not about precisely what you did, because you'll do many things, or what you might have said in a specific occasion. But the thing to keep in mind is what Maya Angelou said. It's not what you did or what you said, it's about how you made people feel, that people will remember at your eulogy. Will your eulogy be about how you used your success, and you will be successful? No doubt. But will you use that success to help those in need, as epitomized by Bill Gates and his wife Melinda, or Zuckerberg now, who's made billions on Facebook? Or will it be about how you, and as you know, what I mean by that is that they have committed to giving most of their wealth away to address the grand challenges of the world. And in many cases, they are making progress. I think they will eradicate many of the diseases of the world, not only orphan diseases, but chronic diseases that are affecting many people in this room. Their philanthropy, their love of humanity will impact almost everyone in this room. That is the opportunity that you have. So will that be your eulogy? Or will it be about how you made decisions in whatever field you choose to become wealthier at the expense of others in some cases, or perhaps by cutting corners as a biomedical engineer or a physician or as an actuary or whatever it is that you become, about how you cut corners for personal gain or for fame and putting the lives of others in harm's way. You see, the small and large decisions that you make will determine what your eulogy will be, what your legacy will be. And then beyond an impressive eulogy, you know, there was an amazing president of UBC called President Gage. Some of you may know him. And what's remarkable is that he left UBC in the 70s. Now it's 2017. There have been 15 presidents of UBC. But people talk, I would say, more about President Gage than any other president, with perhaps the exception of President Westbrook. And it's because of what he did and because of the way he made people feel, thousands of people. There's a project now where we're actually gathering testimonials and videos of people who knew him. And the stories are growing of how he would reach into his pocket when he encountered a student that didn't have enough money for lunch, and he said, "Here, take this, use it so you can get a meal." It's about stories about students that couldn't pay for room and board. And he said, "Come, stay in this house," because he had more than he needed. It's about how he knew every name of every student in his class, not just his mathematics class, but it seemed every name of every student at the institution. And I can tell you with 62,000 students almost, I can't remember all of the names. But it's because of the way he made all of those people feel that it's not just his eulogies, his legacy, that has impacted not only on UBC as it was then, but as an example of how we will all behave to define the UBC of the future. In a sense, his actions are now embedded in the DNA, the collective DNA of the institution. So as you move through life, remember more than what you learned in class. All that's incredibly important. Remember more than what you learned in the laboratory. All that's important. All of that I call the education of the mind. I ask you to remember something different, something that I think will be more impactful, more pivotal in those moments where you make decisions, small and large, that will determine what your eulogy will be. I ask you to remember the education of the heart. And that comes from what you saw in your faculty members, those that went the extra mile, those that really cared about your knowledge, your learning, about you as individuals. That fed into your education of the heart. But it was also the actions of each of you in your residence halls, in the dining halls, in watching the actions of those that went before you, alumni, some of whom are on this stage, who are here, some of them traveling long distances, because they want to be with you. All of that's part of the education of the heart. And so I leave you with just this one last sentence. Knowledge is in your head. Wisdom is in your heart. Always follow your heart. Tuam est. It's up to you. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Now we have a great musical ensemble to my left. And this guy, the conductor's name is Dennis. Let's hear it for Dennis. And may I ask the ensemble, the orchestra, to please stand so we can hear it for them. Now, I know that you as graduates are incredibly talented, right? Are you talented? Okay. We have, as the University Marshal, we have Nancy Hermiston, who is a renowned opera singer in her own right. You heard it with O Canada, right? Wasn't she great? And she has built one of the great voice programs in the world. Let's hear it for her. I'm going to ask her to come and help me out with something. Come over here. All right, Nancy. So we're going to have some collaboration between Nancy, Dennis, and everyone in this room. Are you ready? Let's try it again. Are you ready? Very good, very good. All right. Dennis, could you get us all pumped up with some percussion? Do you have a percussionist here? We do. Let's hear it for the percussion. Does that remind you of any particular song? Does anybody know the song, We Will Rock You? Parents do, right? All right, so let's clap that, all right? And if anybody, does anybody want to come sing it? Is anyone really talented here? We'll try it as a group, okay? We'll just do a couple of We Will Rock Yous just to get us pumped up, okay? Can you do that? Okay, Mr. Percussionist, let's try that again. You ready? We will rock you. We will That's step one. There's one more step, actually two more steps before you can actually officially receive those degrees. Otherwise, they will disintegrate in front of your face. I'm just joking. But let's end this with some fun, okay? Are you ready? All right. So everybody here on the floor is group one, not in the bleachers, just in the floor, is group one. What group is this? One. We can do better now. What group are you? One. Very good. Everybody here on this side, on the floor, is group two. What group are you? Two. Can do better than that. What group are you? Two. Everybody back there is group three in the bleachers. What group are you? Three. Everybody behind me is group four. What group are you? Four. Okay, very good. Are you ready? All right. So the orchestra is going to play a note, all right? And you're going to sing that note because you're musically talented and you need to do this, otherwise your diplomas will disintegrate, okay? So group one is going to sing this note and then you're going to sing the letter U, okay? You ready? Let's practice. Group two is going to sing the letter B to the second note. Group three is going to sing the letter C to this note. And group four, our esteemed platform party and faculty, is going to sing the letter O to this note. So you've passed test two, one more remaining, okay? And this is going to be amazing, right? Not going to let me down, right, UBCO? Not going to let me down, right? It's going to be amazing. The conductor and I are going to be joined at the hip. Nancy's going to help belt out the note at the appropriate sound. Now, keep that sound because as we build one note on top of each other, group one, group two, group three, group four, we'll create a chord. You will sing UBCO, and when you're all singing together, it'll be an amazing chord, and you'll be so pumped that you're going to erupt into this frenzy of clapping, and the roof is going to fly off this auditorium, right? Can you do it? Okay. Are you ready? Way to go, UBCO. Congratulations. Did you have fun? Yeah. The ceiling still seems to be here. Well, maybe the next ceremony will blow it off. Ladies and gentlemen, this brings our ceremony to a close. I hope that you've enjoyed it just as much as I have, and that you will all be able to join us for refreshments, which will be served immediately after the ceremony in the courtyard at the alumni level, at the tent. This year marks the 100th anniversary of Alumni UBC. Join us to celebrate 100 years and collect your new Alumni UBC A card that has a bunch of benefits on it. Guests are kindly requested to remain in your places until the academic processions, the platform party, and the students have left the building. Thank you for joining us today. I know that you will join us one last time in congratulating the 2017 graduates of the University of British Columbia.